That's helpful. So let me turn to a part of the report that I found especially provocative, but also somewhat troubling. Again, I'm going to quote specifically from the report. You argue that U.S. should place the U.S. defense industrial base on a wartime footing now to ensure that the U.S. military has the capabilities it needs to deter Chinese aggression. I read that and I thought, really? That sounds to me like a recipe for war. If I was sitting in Beijing and I saw the U.S. put its defense industrial base on a wartime footing, I'd think, well, they're going to war. That's what they're doing. So why is that a good idea? Let me start with Mike and then ask Sue to answer the same question.
I think what that really gets at is how far behind we have been in supplying the kind of support in the from the weapon standpoint with respect to Taiwan over the years is one. Secondly, they're uh, basically supplied weapons through the what we call the FMS system, which is a very difficult, slow, bureaucratic acquisition system. And my own view on this, David, is, and there is, as we've became much more aware during the pandemic, the Defense Production Act, which allows the president to put the defense industry on a wartime footing, quote unquote, in order to produce much more quickly and cut through an awful lot of the bureaucracy and produce output very quickly, which is what we need. I would much rather have this discussion before conflict broke out in terms of becoming much stronger and having much more of an impact from a deterrent standpoint than I would, okay, now war has started. Let's enact the Defense Production Act to make sure that we can catch up. There's certainly risk associated with that. I think there's increased risk almost with any step you take with respect to Taiwan. But the whole message is we've got to get the defense system, the defense industry, moving much more quickly to support the contingencies that are out there in the Western Pacific with respect to Taiwan. And it is mostly to ensure that we're strong and that we can deter the war that we don't want to have.